Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be reviewing and trying out the Bobbi Brown Skin Concealer Stick. And I will show you how this concealer will go on my mature, dry skin. And I will show you what I'm going to pair it with because I want to have a glowy face and not anything drying. So let's get started. As you guys can see, I have part of my eyes done, my brows are done, and I have used the Hollywood Flawless Filter Primer and I primed my face with it because I wanna get that glowy skin. And today I'm gonna use the Clinique Even Better Glow Foundation. This has SPF 15 in it, and this is a very sheer, very light coverage, very hydrating foundation. So I'm gonna use this today with the Bobbi Brown because the Bobbi Brown is more of a medium coverage and build the coverage in this area. So I did not finish the under eye area because I'm gonna test out this concealer and then I'm gonna finish the under eye area and applying mascara and all that. So let's get started. So this concealer, this is what the packaging looks like. It is made in Belgium. It has 3 grams of product and I got mine in the shade Ivory. And let's open it up. This retails for $39 on the Canada Sephora website. The packaging is very sleek, very pretty, and I feel like this is magnetic. Let's see. That's what I heard. Yes, it seems like the component is magnetic, which is good because you're not gonna lose it in your purse or it's not gonna open up and get all over your products. Now this comes into 18 shades. Mine is in the shade Ivory. And a little bit about this product. It's a stick formula. It has a natural finish. It's good for dark spots, medium coverage, also good for dark circles, and it's very long wearing. It says that it's a color true concealer stick for evening and also for brightening imperfection with up to 12 hours of crease proof comfort. This is Bobbi Brown's first of its kind transformative stick. Conceals imperfections with creamy coverage. So it's a stick but it has a creamy coverage. So I'm gonna show you compared to some of my other concealers that are more similar to this one so we can see how it performs. The comfortable formula stays the day without settling, creasing, or caking and delivers immediate and all-day moisture for smoother, plumper, healthy-looking skin. So it has everything that a concealer I would like to have into because it's creamy, it's a stick, it provides coverage, but it's also hydrating. So we're gonna put it to the test. Now again, keep in mind, I'm not very picky with concealers. I know that concealers are eventually going to settle into any of your fine lines if you do have any. I normally like to apply my concealer inner corner, outer corner, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna apply it here as well, forehead, chin, and in this area to see what the coverage is like. Now I'm gonna go in with the Clinique foundation. This is a very sheer, very glowy foundation. It comes in a squeezy tube like this one. And I picked up this much. I'm gonna use my Rare Beauty foundation brush. Now this concealer, I'm excited to try out. After we apply the foundation, I'm gonna show to you how this one looks compared to the Nars concealer, which is in a cream form. That's the only concealer that I have in cream form. The rest are kind of liquidy, but I'm also gonna show it to you how it compares to the Pat McGrath concealer. You guys can have an idea of shades and what this one looks like. Now look how beautiful and glowy this foundation is. Now I'm gonna go in with a dampened sponge. This looks beautiful, very skin-like foundation. I love this. This is good for summer, good for those days where you barely want to show that you're wearing anything on your face. So let me show you some swatches before we're gonna apply it to the face. This is what the product looks like. Reminds me of, what is it, Rare Beauty type of products, you know, the bronzer. Yes, the bronzer, which we should use in today's video. Let me take it out here. Let's apply this. Ooh, this is very creamy right away. So here is the Bobbi Brown concealer in the shade Ivory. Now I'm gonna compare it to the Nars Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Light 1. And it looks like this. So I'm gonna use my finger. Again, this is a creamy concealer, but very hydrating. So it's very hard to see. Not really, actually, you guys can see it. It's this one right here. So this is the Nars one. So right away you can see that the Bobbi Brown has more of a peach undertone. The Nars one is more light, which, remember that if it does have a peach undertone, it's also very helpful to cover any discoloration underneath your eyes, your veins, any type of dark circles. So that's a bonus to have that. Like, you don't need, listen, Bobbi Brown also came with a what is it? Bobbi Brown came with a brightening stick, which looks very similar to the concealer. I'm gonna put a picture right here so you guys can see, but I don't think you need both. I think you need one or the other, so I went for the concealer. Now I'm gonna try out the Pat McGrath in the shade L2, the concealer, the Pat McGrath Labs concealer. And I know this is not a cream or a stick, but I don't know, the packaging kind of gave me same vibes as the Bobbi Brown. And this is the Pat McGrath one. So you guys can see the shades compared to the Bobbi Brown. Right away, I'm noticing that the Bobbi Brown is very creamy, still looking very hydrating on the skin. The Nars one is the one that has dried down. And again, the Nars one, I like to use very little under the eyes. I mostly like to use this all over my eyelids, which I'm wearing today, kind of like setting the eyelids for the eyeshadow. And here is the Pat McGrath, which is kind of in between, not shade wise, but in between formulation wise. It's drying down, but you can still see a little bit of glowiness and hydration. But I'm excited about this one. Let's go ahead and apply it. So it says to apply it with fingers or with a sponge. I'm gonna try use the Rare Beauty brush on one side, and I'm gonna try use a sponge on the other side. So again, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna apply a more amount than usual. Ooh, okay. So right away, I'm noticing that it is very creamy, very easy to work with. I'm so excited. And you can see that it's not, maybe it's not too pink, but it does have a very slight pink undertone for covering those dark circles. Okay, so I'm gonna use my brush in this area. Like, I'm gonna do half with brush and also finger, because the brush mimics finger, and see how it goes. And the other side I'm gonna use with a sponge. So let's go ahead. Let me zoom you in. Ooh, I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. So the brush application is very smooth. Right away you can see the product melts just right into your skin. Beautiful. Now let me clean my finger to make sure that they're clean, and I'm gonna use my finger for underneath the eye so we can see how it applies with the finger as well, so you guys can have an idea. Look how beautiful. It just melts into the skin. Wow. Wow. What do you guys think? very brightening, very hydrating. Okay, so the application went very smooth with the finger as well as with the brush, and I am not noticing any creasing at all. You know how some concealer can crease right away or settle into your fine lines? Absolutely nothing. So let's go ahead now with a sponge and see how the application goes with a sponge. So I've used a dampened sponge right in this area right here, and now I'm gonna go with the e.l.f. sponge, which is a dry sponge, and use it underneath the eye. I find that using a dry sponge with concealers underneath the eye, it doesn't provide that cakiness, because when you use a wet sponge, I don't know if it's true, but this is what I've noticed, that when you use a wet sponge underneath the eyes, that moisture kind of makes the concealer settle into your fine lines a little bit faster. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you guys can see. Okay, so here is the application. Now on this side, I've used the Rare Beauty concealer brush and my finger, and on the other side, I've used a wet sponge and a dry sponge under the eye. Right away, I can tell you that I prefer using this brush and my finger over using a sponge with this concealer. You can see that on this side, I'm gonna let you see the side a little bit better. And this is the side with the sponge. So you can see right away that this side is more hydrating looking. So if you prefer more of that glowy, creamy, hydrating look, go ahead and use a concealer brush that mimics your finger or your actual finger, because the warmth of your skin melts the product into your skin much nicer and better than a dampened sponge. Now with the dampened sponge, it looks really nice as well, and with the dry sponge as well. However, I think that the dry sponge in this case is probably my least favorite application for this concealer. It's probably best with a wet concealer, but I think that this portion of the face looks much better. You can see that nothing has been settled in the lines, and here a tiny bit because we've used a dry sponge. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a brush now to push everything in. Much better. Now I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on this concealer, but I want to show you up close again. You can see that the Bobbi brown one still has a little bit of shininess and creaminess to it. The Nars one has dried down completely, you can see. And the Pat McGrath, you can still see a little bit of shininess and creaminess, but it also oxidized. It's not as white and light as before. So kind of wanted to give you an idea. It looks beautiful. So let's powder the underneath the under eye area, but not the face, and see how it looks with powder underneath. Yeah, I just turned my lamp on because that was off. So the lamp is on. But anyways, let's go ahead and powder. So I'm gonna use my Pat McGrath Labs Under Eye Fetish powder. So I'm gonna use a fluffy brush. Now make sure that the concealer is all pushed in before you apply any powder. And we're just gonna powder the under eye area. So this is what it looks like, powdered and no powder. It's still creamy, it's still hydrating, it still shines through. However, you can see the mattifying effect right away. So I think this looks very nice. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply my bronzer, complete my eye look, my blush I will apply, and I will be right back and give you my final thoughts on this concealer and whether I recommend it or not, and also for whom I recommend this concealer. Okay, so this is what the Bobbi Brown Stick Foundation in the shade Ivory looks outdoors in the sunlight. I don't know how to place you guys, but look how beautiful it is. I think it looks stunning. So here's in the shade. Here is in the sun. Oh, I think the complexion looks really, really nice. What do you guys think? So yeah, this is kind of with my iPhone, and I'm showing you how it looks outdoors in natural light. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so this is about 4 hours later. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is what the concealer looks like. It looks very, very pretty. It's, can see a little bit now, maybe not. It's still very creamy. Nothing has settled in. Looks very pretty. I love it. And here's Kona too. Kona. Yeah, so this is kind of my last check-in, and it's in natural light, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like. The face is complete. I'm going to link down all of the products I've used on my face today in case you're wondering what's on my lips, what's my bronzer, my blush, because I want to get to my thoughts right now to let you know about this concealer. So here is a close-up before I'm going to zoom you out. So we've been about 40 minutes of filming, and look how the face looks like. So this underneath the eye I have powdered, but on my face, forehead, nose, chin, there's no powder at all. I think that this concealer looks beautiful. So there's absolutely no settling anywhere in any of my lines on my face. It is just very creamy and very beautiful. What do you guys think? Which guys do you prefer better? So this side I've used the Rare Beauty concealer brush and my finger, and on this side I've used a dampen sponge and a dry sponge, so I can give you guys options and show you how this concealer applies best and how it looks best on the face. Now again, keep in mind I have dry skin, mature skin, and I think that it looks beautiful. So this is a close-up. Here is what it looks like from afar. Even better, right? I think it looks the same as close-up, but I'm loving it. Okay, so Bobbi Brown concealer in the shade Ivory, perfect shade for me. It is exactly what the description says about this product. I can't tell yet how it will last after 12 hours. However, it is creamy, stick form. It applies smoothly on the face. It has not settled into any of the fine lines. It has a peach undertone, which eliminates those purple veins underneath your eyes or any of the dark circles. Bobbi Brown also came with a skin corrector. It's $39 as well. And I don't think you need two. I suggest just grab one or the other. However, I went for the concealer because I know the concealer I can use all over my face, not just underneath my eyes. And I already have my Becca skin corrector for under my eyes, and that's all I need. But yeah, don't spend your money on both unless you really want to. I'm sure the skin corrector probably performs as wonderful as this concealer. But I definitely 100% recommend this, and I'm saying that because I feel like this product is probably my top, if not my #1 concealer in my collection that I own. I've applied maybe the drugstore version of this. It's not a stick, however, it's a cream, and this is the NYX Bare With Me concealer. This is probably very similar to this in what I mean is, like, after applying it, I don't see any settling in the fine lines. It's very hydrating, very smooth looking. It lasts all day, and it looks beautiful all day long on my dry, mature skin. I'm not sure of any other skin types, but this, if you want to go for a drugstore hydrating concealer. This is a good one because this is a serum concealer. But the Bobbi Brown one, definitely recommend it. I will definitely purchase it. $39 Canadian. It is worth it. You can just go ahead and use this concealer on those days where you don't want to wear any foundation and conceal your face, kind of blend it out, and it gives you that smooth, very hydrating, a very brightening effect to your face, a very healthy looking glow to your face. Go ahead and get this one because I approve it. I love it so much and you won't be disappointed. Now, I have absolutely nothing bad to say about this product, like nothing. I love the packaging, the stick container, I love the shade, I love the formulation. Everything is perfection about this product. So I'm loving it. Now, let me know down below what you guys think. From my application and how it looks on the face, I would love to hear your thoughts. You can see it's right here how beautiful it just melted and meshed with the skin. It's just still hydrating looking and it's just stunning. So very beautiful formulation. Now, yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe. It will mean so much to me. I wish you all a wonderful day. Always remember to be yourself, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.